This is Valley News Live at 5.
The sunshine combined with our temps are making for a pretty fine Thursday. Let's get more on the forecast now from Hutch. Hey, Hutch.
Andrea, hello. Good evening, everyone. As we head into our Thursday evening, it couldn't get much better than this. Sunshine all up and down the valley. As you see here, not a cloud to be seen from our CorwinAuto.com Fargo Sky Cam. Here's a look at that satellite and radar. Very quiet here as we take you into the evening hours. Temperatures are in the 50s for almost everyone. Look at Duluth, a cool 37 there. Thief River Falls, 51 degrees. Jamestown, one of the hot spots at 53. How about 1 degree better in Hallock this hour? Temperatures staying in the 40s until after sunset. 10 o'clock tonight will be slipping into the 30s. Sunset, by the way, 7:38 p.m. in Fargo. Grand Forks, temperatures sneaking down into the 30s by bedtime tonight. All in all, it looks beautiful for tonight and tomorrow. However, after the weekend, we have some things we're watching for you. We've declared a first alert weather day for Wednesday. I'll have details on that all-important weekend forecast, and we'll tell you what we're eyeballing for next week in just a few moments.
Okay, thanks, Hutch. New tonight at 5, we are just learning that a Fort Totten man has been indicted for first-degree murder. The indictment alleges that Cody James Bellegarde shot a boy to death on the Spirit Lake Reservation back in January. The boy's death was discovered after a report of a house fire. We are learning more about an officer-involved shooting in the Fort Totten area yesterday that left a man dead. The man who was killed was identified as 44-year-old David Suarez. He was shot by an officer following a police chase and a fight that happened after the vehicle stopped. There were 3 others in the suspect's vehicle. They were not hurt. A Thief River Falls woman is charged in a woman's death after police say she sold her drugs. Haley Sheridan was charged with third-degree murder and sale of a controlled substance. Court documents say last July, police found 44-year-old Melanie Fayette unresponsive at an apartment complex in Thief River. She was flown to a Fargo hospital where she died about 2 weeks later. Sheridan denied selling drugs to the victim, but investigators found text messages between the two. An 18-year-old has pleaded guilty to a brutal assault in South Moorhead. Ashton Bellafuel is charged with second-degree attempted murder as well as 2 assault charges. The incident happened back in November after multiple callers reported an ongoing disturbance in an apartment. A woman was assaulted with a knife, a screwdriver, and a stick. Another woman was stabbed in the eye and the neck. One victim jumped off the roof of the apartment complex to escape. If convicted, he could face more than 50 years in prison. A man will spend 2 decades in jail after he pleaded guilty to sexually assaulting a young boy last summer. Court documents say Zachary Richardson's foster mom told investigators that he had several assessments and had treatments for psychological and social disorders. Documents also say that his therapists said Richardson would sexually offend young children if given the chance. Richardson must serve at least 12 years behind bars, and the remainder of his 20-year sentence will be spent on supervised probation. Police are warning you about a high-risk sex offender in the Fargo area. Kilo Trayvon Bowen Davis is currently homeless. He was convicted in May 2018 of sexual imposition. His victim was a 17-year-old girl. High-risk offenders are the most likely to reoffend. Governor Tim Walz is ordering all Minnesota flags to be flown at half-staff at all state buildings from sunrise to sunset on March 22nd to honor the 8 lives lost in the Atlanta shooting. This comes after the president's announcement for all U.S. flags to be flown at half-staff. The accused shooter, Robert Aaron Long, was supposed to make his first court appearance today, but it was canceled. Investigators are still trying to figure out a motive, but they've made it clear that they're not ruling anything out. A man is recovering from extensive burns and a firefighter is injured after a fire in Bemidji. It happened yesterday afternoon at a car salvage lot just south of the city. At one point, 50 firefighters were battling the flames and 3 other fire departments and law enforcement were helping them. The cause is still under investigation. The Cass County Sheriff's Office needs your help identifying certain people and a white pickup as part of an active investigation. The pickup is believed to be a 2015 to 2021 Chevy 2500 with a Z71 off-road package and North Dakota plates. It may now have paper or dealer plates. If you have any information, call Detective Lance Kitson at this phone number, 241-5834. In tonight's vaccine coverage, Clay County Public Health is receiving more COVID vaccines this week. Last week, Clay County administered nearly 900 doses, 578 first doses and 319 second doses. This week, staff will give out 1,700 doses, 1,500 first doses and 200 second. Clay County continues to see increases in vaccinations. Over 20% have gotten one dose, over 10% have gotten both. With ages 50 to 64, close to 30% got the first dose, almost 70% have completed the series. One commissioner says even with the low COVID-19 rates, people should still remain cautious the next couple of weeks.
There's light at the end of the tunnel, but I think the next month or 6 weeks, particularly getting through spring break, there's going to be developments that we need to be aware of that may impact our community, especially with the college population.
All Clay County schools have been offered the vaccine multiple times, but no data has been released yet on how many staff members have been vaccinated. More than 2 million doses of the vaccine have been administered in Minnesota. According to a press release from the governor, it took more than 2 months for the state to administer the first million doses, but it took less than 1 month to administer the next million doses. More than 1.3 million Minnesotans have gotten at least one dose of the vaccine, and more than 764,000 are fully vaccinated. Nearly 77% of those ages 65 and older have gotten at least one dose. The president's goal of delivering 100 million vaccine shots in his first 100 days in office well within arm's reach. A senior administration official said today that it could happen. About 98 million Americans have gotten a shot so far, with the number growing by roughly 2 to 3 million a day. So the milestone could be reached by tomorrow. Either way, it's weeks ahead of President Biden's 100th day in office. Today is day 58. The Red River Zoo is welcoming its newest guest that you may see rolling through town. This is Fancy. She's a Virginia opossum who was rescued from Georgia and has difficulty moving her back half. The executive director of the zoo says Fancy has a spinal cord injury and would not have survived in the wild. So the zoo created an opossum-friendly wheelchair to give her mobility again.
Not only do we have a wonderful team of people here to take care of her and the technology needed to take care of her, but also it allows us to tell her story and to educate people about opossums in general and wildlife in general.
The zoo thinks Fancy is between 1 and 2 years old. And the celebration for St. Patrick's Day isn't over yet. A parade will happen this weekend in downtown Fargo, the 24th year for the parade. It will start on NP Avenue at 4th Street in downtown Fargo at 11 a.m. Saturday and travel north on Broadway this year. If you attend, organizers ask that you bring a mask and social distance from others.
Being a small business is hard anytime. It's been especially hard this past year. So we're hoping if we can get people to interact with downtown Fargo again, we can start seeing that foot traffic and our small businesses can start to thrive again.
Also happening this weekend, the big football game on Saturday between NDSU and UND. If you are downtown, you can watch it at Broadway Square. And of course, you can also catch the game right here on KVLY. The pregame show is at 1:30. Kickoff is at 2:30. Still to come, Amazon plans on expanding its business ventures into healthcare. We'll tell you about its new program.
And I don't know about you, but sunshine on my shoulders sure felt good. 50s today, and we're on our way to some 60-degree readings across the valley as we close out the work week and head into the weekend. Not without some growing pains over the next 7 days. First alert weather day declared for Wednesday. We'll tell you why coming up right after this.